Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today is my day 5 update. I guess what I wanted to talk about today is it's my first Friday, so really my first weekend going into the challenge. And this is kind of like the make or break point for me. I really feel like weekends are going to be the hardest time because I'm home all day. It's easier to do things like start snacking or, I could end up bored and watching porn or something if my girlfriend's not around. I don't know. I just don't want. Those are the things that I'm like most worried about. Actually, the porn I'm not really that worried about. Not really that worried about it at all. Actually, weekends are the least time when I actually would watch porn. Anyways, I guess the bigger thing I am worried about is if I built a fire pit in my backyard probably, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, and it's really nice. I paid a guy $1,000 to do some landscaping, and I got a pretty small yard. It's kind of like the size of a master bedroom. It's just like a good size little squared backyard. There's enough room. We have like a grill set up, and we'll put chairs around this big fire pit, and we'll start a fire on like either a Friday or a Saturday. Have maybe 3, 4, 5 friends over, and we'll buy some alcohol and just grill and sit around the fire and hang out, listen to music, drink beer. So obviously, if you checked out, I just posted on the blog actually. I backdated some of my posts, but on the if you're listening right now, you should be able to go and check out. There's going to be a post for what I call bonus habits that I'm doing for the challenge, and one of those happens to be that I'm also not going to drink any alcohol during 30 days. Now, that's not something that's normally in the program, but I decided to do that because of a few reasons, I guess. I'm trying to lose weight, and obviously it's just added calories. I want to see if I can really discipline myself because those are some of the biggest temptations and things that it's easy to get access to. Like there's a ton of beer right downstairs in my fridge right now. Every time I open the fridge, it's like the first thing I see is there's a ton of it in the back, like Coors Light, and we got the Pumpkinhead because right now it's about Halloween time. So I'm staying away from that, and it's mostly for, I think, the weight loss thing. It's not like I've never really had a problem with alcohol, never really been an issue for me, but I think that'll be somewhat of a challenge this weekend if we do decide to have people over for a fire. I guess beyond that, I'm not really having, I guess, the greatest day. Like in terms of the challenge, everything's going good. I woke up early. I was up before 5 a.m., got my breakfast going. I've been really enjoying the idea of just doing the breakfast in the morning and packing it up in a container and bringing it in and then reheating it. That's actually working a lot easier for me, although I still sometimes let it go cold. That's been working out. Beyond that, I found out this week, my girlfriend, she tends to smoke weed and, whatever, tons of people smoke. I mean, it's kind of just a given, but I've never really been a fan of it. I get really anxious when I do it. Makes me really paranoid. I know that's definitely a side effect for a lot of people, and I think she's just become a little more reliant on it, like in her daily life, doing it almost daily. And she decided to basically stop while I'm doing this challenge. I may have mentioned this already, and told me that she wasn't going to smoke for 30 days, and she's never really been a cigarette smoker. I know last weekend we went out to a wedding, and she went and smoked with someone, a few people, like some girls we met, and she had a butt with them, and it's like, whatever, if you want to smoke one cigarette, I'm just not really thinking anything of it. But then she went out last night, bought a bunch of alcohol, and obviously here I am avoiding that, and it's just adding even more to what we already have. Even more so, I found out this morning, here I am going in every day, like, to this challenge, like, really just putting my all. Like, I come home and I make these videos, and I'm doing things around the house, doing chores, and just staying really productive and trying to do all these things to better myself. And here she is. I find that she bought a pack of cigarettes, and I guess that really bothered me, so I decided to hide them. I realize now that probably wasn't the best decision. I really don't think I should have done that. I should have approached her and talked to her about it. But she actually got pretty upset with me about it, and gave me the whole I need space. And I guess it's been a problem because even though I'm doing this challenge right now and I'm waking up at 5 a.m., her schedule's completely different for work. She goes in at 10 a.m. and then she'll get home around like 6:30 or so. So during the week, if I'm going to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I mean, especially this past week, I've still been doing my exercises or being productive even at nighttime, like past 6. At most, really all we've done to hang out is maybe like have a TV show on, and I'm still like exercising, doing my push-ups and stuff during that TV show. So I feel like as of the past even just couple months, we've kind of like distanced ourselves a little bit just because of this. It's very sort of strenuous. The work schedules are so separate. I mean, I know even from, it's almost kind of, I don't want to call it lame, but it's like I used to go to bed with her every night around midnight, and we would, like it's common for a couple to like, start cuddling and hugging and stuff and just hold each other while you're falling asleep. And we would usually do that, and then I'd turn over when I'm like really ready to fall asleep, because you kind of can't when you're holding someone or you get your arm like underneath their head or whatever. So I'd always roll over and just pass out when I'm ready. But now I go up to bed by myself, and she doesn't want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. She doesn't have to work the next day till 10. So she'll be staying up till midnight, 1, maybe even 2 a.m., and wake up at like 9:30. So she's still getting like a pretty solid night of sleep, but our schedules are so off that like we haven't had the opportunity to kind of connect in those ways. So I feel like that's kind of draining us. I guess the good news from my perspective is that she's got a new job, and she's supposed to be starting this in a couple weeks. And with that, the idea is that hopefully she'll be on a very similar schedule to mine. So, we'll both be getting home around 2, 3 o'clock. We could get a lot of stuff done. I mean, I was even just in the backyard. Obviously, I just mentioned we did all this landscaping work. She went to Home Depot and bought a bunch of flowers and things to plant in the backyard up above a retaining wall. And we recently had some pretty heavy rain, and all the flowers were sitting in pots like up on top of the wall, like they haven't been planted yet, and they were all knocked over, like, and they're like dying. And she's spent probably something like $50+ on buying these plants, and they're dying because we've neglected getting these things done. And that's kind of why I like this challenge, because I'm getting all these things done that I would have been like putting off. Like this weekend, I already made up my to-do list for every single day of the things that I want to get done. Tomorrow I've got a couple things going on. Like I've got an interview with someone for my other podcast that I have, my Voices of Marketing podcast. It's a marketing podcast. And then, beyond that, just doing chores around the house, like vacuuming and cleaning and making sure my house and my home is nice. That's kind of what I like about this, is it's just keeping me really going, being productive. And I've got plenty of things I can work on. I want to even clean the basement and start rearranging things so I can make more space down there to set up a area to get my clothing business off the ground. So I guess that's it for today. I mean, I'm sort of in a funk right now because she threw one of those one-liners at me, like we need space. So hopefully by tomorrow I'll have more information in my next update. I know obviously this isn't necessarily if you're listening on the podcast or you're watching this on YouTube, this isn't really a relationship podcast. That wasn't my intention, but I thought it'd be interesting because it is, it could definitely reflect on how this challenge goes out for me if for some reason things just start kind of going in a bad direction with my relationship. And like I said, I think a lot of it is very much to do with the fact that our schedules are so diverse, and we really haven't been hanging out as much as we were months ago. So talk to you later. Thanks for listening.